it can be lost theoretically through the generations, but you can't gain it. So no one made so-called black people black later on down the line. Like, it was there from the beginning. Y'all, so-called white people, y'all are like the anomaly on the planet.
Yeah,
right?
it's
Everybody
different shades of brown, and then it's
red.
Yeah, red.
Esau. Now, I'm not saying you're necessarily Esau.
Yeah, we're not saying you. We don't know if you're.
It's fine if I am.
We don't know.
If you say
No, it's not fine.
No, because you just said
you gotta hope that you gotta hope that you're from the nation of Israel.
I know what I am.
What are you?
I'm a child of Jesus Christ. I'm a Christian. Okay, I'll just put it that way.
Well,
but that's not your nationality. We're not really gonna do this fight this whole time.
No man cometh to the Father.
Let's get
except
Revelation.
by me.
Talking about the what the Son of the
What do you say about that?
looks like.
No man cometh to the Father except by me.
Now let's see. We're gonna test you and see if you're an antichrist.
hold on, let's get that in Ezra real quick about Esau being in the word. So
Okay.
Let's get that real quick. We're gonna show you why you don't.
Yeah, you do not want to be Esau. You do not want to go back. Your lineage should not. You should not want your lineage to go back to Esau, because Esau. Oh,
well, I am one.
It's on
I am one of the ones that was given to God, because all that the Father has given to me will come to me, and I will lose none of it.
That's the Israelites.
That's the Israelites.
That's the Israelite stuff.
Well, I was given to God, and He's not going to lose me.
You know one reason why it's hard for you to kind of understand?
I'm not proud either. I'm not saying that.
I understand what you're saying. That's good. You don't want to be a proud man, right? Because pride comes before destruction. Right. But what I'm saying is this.
You said a bad word?
No.
Dam stops the water, man. So we're talking about the flood now? Okay. I didn't know that Red Sea was so far from one point to the other. That's a big.
It's not. From the maps, it don't seem that. It don't seem.
It was
that
like
big.
300 feet deep where they walked across there.
They walked across the.
I didn't know until I'm reading the Bible through. Now there were 2 crossings of a body of water right there. You know that?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Just.
What's that? They walked. What's that?
Sea of Galilee or no? What was it?
They didn't walk across the.
The first time when they left Egypt, they crossed the Red, wasn't it?
It wasn't the Red Sea. The Red Sea is too deep. It would take too long to get across. It was
right.
It was what's that?
The river.
I want to say I know what you're talking about. This is second Ezra. This is why you don't want to be Esau. This is second Ezra chapter 6. You familiar with the Apocrypha at all?
Not in that terminology.
The Apocrypha. When you get a Catholic Bible, all the books that's in there is supposed to be in there. In the regular, like the Protestant Bibles and such, they started, and during the time of slavery, they took out these books from the Bible. If you get a Catholic Bible, it will have all the books in it, right? But if you get like a regular one, it'll have what? Is it 66? Yeah, it's 66 books. It doesn't have the rest of the books, right?
Now, this is second Ezra chapter 6, verse 7. And the reason they took it out is because this is the intertestamental period between the Old Testament and the New Testament. Because remember, the Israelites were captive under the Assyrians, the Babylonians, obviously the Egyptians, the Greeks, and the Romans. But if you notice, the Greeks it really isn't in the scriptures probably that you Old New Testament. This is that goes into the Greek captivity right here, right? So this is second Ezra. Now this is actually Ezra of the Old Testament, right? It's just a Greek translation of his name. All right. So second Ezra chapter 6 verse 7.
Because when we went into these captivities, we had to learn their language and such. We had to do things like now. You know, we're not over here. We're saying we're the Hebrew Israelites, but we're not speaking Hebrew. You know, because we lost that to actually we got mixed into this society. You get what I'm saying?
And if you would turn to second Ezra chapter 6 verse 7. I want you to read this one with me.
Second Ezra.
Yeah, it's
Ezra, Nehemiah, not that one.
Yeah, that's that Ezra. That Ezra is the same as Esdras in this book.
This is the 6 and 9 of this chapter.
chapter 7 or chapter 6?
No, chapter 6. Verse chapter 6, verse 7. All right, so I'm gonna go read this. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 6, verse 7. You got it?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times, or when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth? And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth.
That's prophecy right there. So Esau will be reigning in the end times, right? And then Jacob, which is the Negro, Latino, and Native American, is going to take over because actually the son of the Most High is an Israelite. You know, he's a part of Jacob. You know?
And that's why I asked you earlier, I was like, do you believe that so-called white people run the world? Because if you had said yeah, well, either way, it's what it is. But if you had said yeah, I'd be like, that's because Esau is currently in control of this world, this current world. And just like you said earlier, though, you said Satan was in control of this world, right? There you go. So the thing is, people can't understand the dynamics of how Esau is related to Satan in the scriptures. But there's a reason the Most High hated Esau, right? Because
Before he was born.
Right.
Hey, and at least he knows that the Heavenly Father hates.
Just like God, nothing exists apart from God. Nothing. God made Satan. God made, in effect, God made evil.
Well, Satan works for the Most High.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's not diametrically opposed to the Most High.
You said you was reading from the beginning. You started reading the Bible again, right? Like you start from the beginning now.
Yeah,
so have you got to Job?
No, it's just Samuel.
You still at Samuel? Well,
at least you don't reject the Old Testament. Well, you kind of did, but
yeah, you kind of did reject the Old Testament.
yeah, but
Because it says
Well, it's the law.
the beginning was the Word.
See, like I told you, I believe Jesus fulfilled the law. Because he said on the cross,
He fulfilled
"It
his
is
prophecies
finished."
in the law. He fulfilled those parts of the prophecy in the
But he said, "It is finished."
that
And to
his
me-
lot in that flesh at that time. Okay.
this is Matthew chapter 5, verse 7. Think not that I am come to destroy the law or the prophets. I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill. Okay. But for verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass, heaven and earth still here, one jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law till all be fulfilled. Everything, right? Every single thing.
So that means that you and me are supposed to go sacrifice lambs and doves and stuff like that every
No,
day?
that's over because he is the mediator